Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Aubrey Aquino at the Women's Funding Network Conference in San Francisco. Joining me is Surina Khan. She's the CEO of the Women's Foundation of California. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So first off, explain the Women's Foundation of California. What is it all about? What do you guys do?
We are a statewide women's community foundation. We were founded in 1979, and our mission is really to advance economic security for women and girls and families all over the state of California.
And when you say that you secure this for women and girls in California, what exactly do you do?
We work in two areas, philanthropy and policy advocacy. So California is a really important state because we're the 7th largest economy in the world, and yet we have the highest poverty rates in the nation. 60% of minimum wage workers are women. 1 in 4 kids lives in poverty, and so what we want to try to do is provide resources in the form of money. So we do grant making through our giving circles, through donor advised funds, and through grant making initiatives with larger foundations. And then our second approach is policy advocacy, and there we are training women leaders, grassroots community-based women, about how the public policy process works so that they can affect change on behalf of their own communities. Our underlying value is basically that people who are closest to the problems in their communities are in the best situation to solve those problems. And so we want to give them the money, the resources, the tools, the training to be able to create change in their own communities.
Right, and here at the conference, you were speaking as part of a panel with the Advocacy Playbook. Explain that and how that works.
So one of our core approaches is policy advocacy, and we have a Women's Policy Institute that is going into its 13th year. And so we train community-based women on how the public policy process works, and we do that by bringing them together over the course of a year and teaching them the ins and outs of the public policy process. How does a bill become a law? How do you do public speaking, because you have to testify before a committee maybe in 60 seconds or 30 seconds, how to build coalitions. And so over the years, though it's a training institute, our unanticipated outcome is that 23 of their policy projects have become law. They've been signed into law by the governor.
Wow.
12 of those have made it to the governor's desk and been vetoed, and we consider that a success because they know how to get it to the governor's desk. Right. So for example, in 2013, you probably heard about the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights that was passed here in California. That came out of our Women's Policy Institute. Another example is it's now illegal to shackle pregnant women who are incarcerated when they're giving birth. So that's a human right, and we want women to have dignity. And so those kinds of bills have been coming out of our Women's Policy Institute.
And what do you think it's going to take, or as you continue to try and affect change? Like what types of things, being here at the conference, how does that all come together to help you?
Well, to affect change, like I said, women who are closest to the problems in their communities are really the ones, they're figuring out how to get through every day. So they know what some of the best solutions are. And so for us, I think our role is really to connect them to donors, to resources, to money, make sure that they're getting grants and dollars that can support their organizations and their efforts, as well as training in the form of policy so that they can be making their own policies.
Right, and I guess it's always a good idea to get involved if you can, right?
Yes, absolutely. And so we want more people to know about us, to join us in our work, to apply for grants, and to be part of our Policy Institute.
All right, Surina Khan, thank you so much for joining us here on Comcast Newsmakers, and we are at the Women's Funding Network Conference in San Francisco.
Thank you so much.